that time again. Time for another video.
And now, this world shall know pain. Almighty push.
What's going on, Digidestined? It's your boy True Pain Gaming, back at it again with another Digimon video. This is my fourth time recording this video today. Super tired. The first time I forgot to press record, and the two other times the audio had been an issue. Hopefully I fixed that now. Hope there's not too much static noise. But yeah, let's just hop right in. So I'm sure you guys know what this already is by the title. This is a Christmas Tyrannomon list, but not just any Christmas Tyrannomon list. This is the best, the pinnacle, the ultimate, the Zenith Christmas Tyrannomon build. So this is the perfect Christmas Tyrannomon build that you can build out of set 1.0. Christmas Tyrannomon best deck. That's all there is to say. Christmas Tyrannomon's OP best deck. No other deck can even compete against this deck. It's insane. Alright, with none of my hype out of the way, we have our 5 eggs. We have 1 Yokomon, 4 Babydemon. Yokomon gives you the plus 1k when you attack an opponent's Digimon, and the Babydemon gives you plus 2k if you have piercing. You guys already know I'm a huge fan of those magic numbers, and these let you hit those magic numbers. For those of you who don't know what magic numbers are, in Digimon it is anything above 7k, which means anything can swing over a blocker without crashing. So these guys let us hit those numbers, which is just so awesome. 3 Agumon lets us search for our bread and butter of the deck, the Tamers. He's essentially 3 more copies of our Tamers that we run, and we do run a lot of Tamers. So that's why we run that Agumon. 4 Guilmon, the plus 1k. If your opponent has 5 more in the discard pile, he's just a scuffed version of Agumon, but he helps us reach those magic numbers again. And again, those magic numbers are key. 2 Beamon. Beamon's going to help us Beamon's going to help us starve our opponent from memory. And then we can also evolve Beamon later on into the blocker, which is Corgimon. Same thing with Agumon. Both these guys we like to evolve into our Corgimon in the ideal situation. For the OP Agumon, this card just gives you plus 1 DP. Really, really strong because that 1k is going to help you hit those magic numbers. Again, magic numbers are huge. On to our level 4s. We do play 4 Tyrannomon. This is one of our 3 boss monsters in the deck. Tyrannomon has jamming, and then he'll have piercing with Taiga. And then if you have all the right things underneath him or on board, he will be 7k or more, letting you swing over blockers with piercing jamming, which is just so strong. Like, this card is so slept on. Everybody get on that Christmas Tyrannomon hype train right now. 4 Dark Tyrannomon. Dark Tyrannomon is going to be another one of our boss monsters. 1k to Digivolve, 6k DP, absolutely free if you have Taiga. 0 cost, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But with that 6k, like I said, if you he's going to be hitting magic numbers if you have the Babydemon or the Yokomon or the Guilmon or the Agumon. Literally anything underneath him, even a Biomon with one of our cards later on, he will be hitting magic numbers. This boy is sick. He will always be hitting those magic numbers. Super, super, super strong early game. Do not sleep on the Tyrannomon deck. You already know what it is. 4 Corgimon, our generic blocker. He gets -2 memory every time he swings. So the -2 memory is actually super useful. If you want to starve your opponent for memory and you're in the late game, I actually do like swinging my blockers if I have enough security and think I can take a few attacks. Nothing else really to say about the blockers. He's just a blocker. You should be playing 4 blockers. 4 of our final boss monster in the deck, Metal Tyrannomon. I say he's our final boss monster, even though you can probably see the cards at the bottom of my screen. Those aren't our boss monsters. Those are all just flex spots. So the Metal Tyrannomon is going to always be huge as fuck because he'll probably be like 15, 14 piercing. 3 cost to Digivolve. 2 cost if you have Taiga. So cheap for like a 14k Digimon with piercing. Like, don't even sleep, guys. This deck, you will get ramped by it. It's awesome. OP. Best deck. 2 Metal Greymon. This deck's all about fucking up blockers. So when you do want to Digivolve into your level 6s, you do want the Metal Greymon. Metal Greymon's going to give you plus 3 memory when he's blocked. Isn't inheritable. 2 Puppetmon. So the Puppetmon is useful because he essentially just ends your opponent's turn if you're in the late game. Because you rest something, and then during your opponent's turn, they can't unrest things. But then also, the getting one memory when attacking is actually super useful. So, yeah. Not much else to say about Puppetmon. You all already know what he does. It's OP. 3 Gallantmon. So the Gallantmon is essentially just a free win against purple, and that's why I felt like he was the most effective level 6 in this deck, along with the free pop on a 6k or less if you have a red tamer, which 6k or less DP. What's 6k or less DP? Oh, blockers. Blockers are 6k or less DP. That's huge. That's insane. Fuck blockers. 2021. Trademark that. But yeah, Gallantmon's huge. Love me some Gallantmon. Again, we only play 3 because he's not really a boss monster in this deck. He's essentially a win more card against purple. But the free delete is super, super nice, and then you can also memory starve with him as well. So 3 Flower Cannon. My other builds on this channel were not playing Flower Cannon, and after like hundreds of hours with this deck, I realized, wait a minute, I'm not playing Flower Cannon. Why? It was just a brain fart, and now going forward, I'm like, yeah, Flower Cannon's OP. This card's so strong. 2 memory, rest when your opponent's Digimon, insecurity, rest everything that's not a blocker. Essentially also just ends your opponent's turn, and then the resting lets you swing at something with piercing, so they can't really avoid your piercing by just not swinging. Which is something I learned the hard way in the Primary Village tournament, the Primary Village content creator tournament. 4 Gaia Force, y'all already know what it is. If you're playing red or you're teching red, you're playing 4 Gaia Force. Best card, like best staple they've introduced into the game so far in the TCG format. Onto our bread and butter deck, the cream of the crop. We have our tamers. So our tamers, I'm opting to play this ratio, which is 7 tamers, along with more of the cheaper tamers, and I'll explain why. So Matt, I'm sure a lot of you don't see a lot of people playing Matt, which is weird because Matt's super, super strong. He's essentially the same as the 4 cost tamers that set you to 3 memory, but he's only 2 costs. So what he does is if your opponent has a Digimon and no Digivolution sources, you get memory +1, which forces your opponent to Digivolve a lot more than they usually would, and it makes them question, okay, do I really want to hard play the 7 cost, essentially giving my opponent an extra memory? I don't know. It just makes them think a little more, and then you're also going to be getting a little bit extra resources, but it's always nice to have those extra resources. And you can memory starve with them because it's only a 2 cost, so that's just so huge. 3 Taiga, a lot of lists play 4. I'm playing the 3 Agumon in this list, and I don't think running 4 of any tamer is a good idea if you're playing the 3 Agumon, because the 3 Agumon is just 3 extra copies of a tamer. So essentially it's just 6 Taigas. If you don't already know what he does, Tyrannomon, best deck by the way. Get Piercing, which is best ability because it's part of the best deck. If you would Digivolve into a Digimon whose name contains Tyrannomon by resting this card, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1, making a lot of your Tyrannomon cards just so fucking free, so cheap to play, it's insane. 2 Tai, 1k DP. Tai's just, again, hitting those magic numbers we talked about earlier. If you absolutely get screwed and have to play him on top of like a Biyomon or an Agumon, the Dark Tyrannomon, you still hit the 7k, which is just super, super huge in the deck. Still letting you hit those magic numbers. So, yeah, Tyrannomon, best deck. I have hundreds of hours in the deck so far, guys, so I do think this is probably the best build out of set 1.0. The Zenith Christmas Tyrannomon, as I'm going to call it. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys again for the 100 subs. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. So, see you around.